Papers float with a breeze. Paperweights don't. Our constant effort, determination in the face of challenges, and our vision to view a better tomorrow together is what will hold our lives and the lives of those looking up to us from floating away like papers in this gale. Let's cherish what we have yet in our palm and let's energize positivity. Hi all, this is Anshu Jain and you're with me on this brain tickling special session of the routine smile. Energizing positivity. Well, this is not a second installment of words of wisdom. This is a conversation much in demand by a considerable mass in search of positivity. It is yet another raw effort to see how energizing positivity can lead to life-building solutions and constructive outcomes. And I'm certain that a conversation with a palette of experience, a protagonist on every page of social well-being, the lucid and candid Dr.Seetharaman is the one that will inject the essence of positivity into our lives. Without any ado, let's welcome the Group CEO of Doha Bank, Dr. R. Seetharaman. Welcome, sir, to this special edition of the Routine Smile. So,
it's my delight, Anshu.
Thank you so much, sir. It is indeed our pleasure and honor to have you once again with us to spread the smiles on the faces of the people in every possible way we could. So, it is said that the key to happiness is positivity. But the point is, how to build simple but effective steps to be positive in life?
Well, positivity is the recognition of the fact that we need to be loving and caring. The minute you start loving everyone, like everything what comes in, life is interesting and exciting. We love everyone, we like everyone, everything is interesting, everything is productive, everything is positive. That's the value creation. That's the purpose of this planet. Cosmic alignment has come only to create value-driven purpose. If you understand, it's all the love, the sheer positivity is all about recognition of the purpose of the creation. Everything becomes easy. We have to have a conviction which are principle-centered. Like, we live in a world which is unequal. There are differences. Our job is to make sure we convert the inequality towards equality. The only way you can do it is to be productive and positive and purposeful. So once you have the conviction that you will love everyone, like everyone, you will reflect positive energy and you will love everything around you and you radiate and transmit such a powerful energy, everything becomes more meaningful. I strongly suggest, especially during these challenging times, we love everyone, we understand indifference exists, ignorance exists, inequality exists. But the way to mitigate is to love the whole humanity. You will see the energy and enthusiasm.
True, sir. Love, compassion has the power to get us through anything, sir. And good things happen in life only when we distance ourselves from negativity.
That's right, yes.
True, sir. So right now, somehow we are getting the opportunity to learn multiple things. So what interpersonal skill can one equip during these challenging times?
Well, everything. See, these are opportunities simply because you have time to internally drive. You have time to introspect. You have time to measure your life so far. You have time to look at the pleasant memories. You have time to look at the the experiences, positive or negative. When you understand these dynamics, your ability to articulate futuristic solutions becomes more meaningful. So, integration of your heart and mind is essential at this point to make sure that you can understand the world is changing. We have to transform along with this change. Change is the world remains. Transformation is world doesn't remind you completely a fresh perspective. So why don't you give a fresh perspective and learn, upskill yourself. If you want to learn a game, go for it. If you want to have continuing education, go for it. If you want to reconnect your relationship, go for it. If you're a businessman, you want to remodel the opportunities, do it. If you have to fix the issue, go for the remedial management of the issue. So move from disaster to fresh perspective. So anything and everything you can acquire. It could be simple games, or you can play golf, or you can learn singing. Upskill yourself. It's it's an opportunity to commit ourselves in the new world order. So everything is possible as long as you want to change. More than change, you want to transform yourself. It starts with you. Leave alone the rest.
True, sir. It is all about embracing that change. Change has been
Absolutely.
part of our lives. If we see the life cycle, change has been a part right from the birth. So it is all about
Absolutely.
embracing that. And at the same time, when we keep on continually improving our skills, and the day we stop it, that is the day when we become quickly irrelevant. True, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Motivation is extremely important to face daily life challenges at the same time to grow and improve in our lives. So, how do I keep myself motivated and also motivate the people around me?
Well, you are looking at a negative side. That's why there's low self-esteem or undermining your ability. You should look at people who are downtrodden. As long as you wake up, you're blessed. Every day when you wake up, you should be thankful. Once you have the basics, what you aspire for will come provided you have attitude of gratitude. So what you need to recognize is look at people who still need the basics. Understand you care for the society and you want to be selfless. If you understand these dynamics, you will get motivated. You should not be greedy. You should not be under pressure. You will be self-motivating, not by fear motivation. Pure self-motivation will come if you understand that you have to enrich the world, others, to enrich yourself. You have to make others happy for you to become happy. You have to bring in prosperity to others for you to become prosperous. If you understand you live for others, obviously your problems looks very small. Aim the big. Don't confine yourself in a shorter surface and think only your problems, your challenges. Look beyond and care for the society, humanity. Everything will fall in place. And you aspire for human prosperity than for your own prosperity. You are inclusive in the bigger picture.
True, sir. The happiness that we get while we do something for others, when we think something which is beyond ourselves and much bigger, that pleasure, that immense pleasure cannot be derived from anything else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So, but how do I convert this aim to winning strategies for myself personally and the organizations or the people I'm associated with or belong to?
We have to recognize we need a concerted vision and a goal. you have to have a long-term vision that things are transforming for good. Once you understand the big picture, these changes, these challenges can be mapped, and your long-term vision is going to make sure you are more prosperous. So the ability to articulate solution comes in once you set in the right kind of seed in your mind with a long-term vision. You don't want anything short-term. The world is changing. This reorganization required around the world, you have to be a part of it. You have to embrace this change. And this is your new vision. Reignite yourself with a new focus. No. I was doing yesterday this. I'm used to this attitude. I'm going to continue the same way. When the world is changing, you will be depressed. You will be alone. You will not be productive. You will be counterproductive rather. So concerted vision for yourself and the organization by sharing the vision, sharing the leadership, you build a focus on your direction. Then the leadership is shared, vision is shared, and the leadership is shared. Then it's going to be a team play, and your execution is to professionally perfect. That's what you will accomplish. Once you have the ability to recognize this is all team play, we're all together into this transformation. So I need a concerted vision. I need to focus and reignite my goals. And I will be sharing my leadership. Everything becomes possible.
True, sir.
Everyone buys in your leadership. There is an acceptance of your leadership. There is less resistance to the transformation. And that's how you have to drive yourself and the organization.
Very true, sir. It's a time to understand that everyone is going through the same transformation. It is not just us. Everyone is equally important at the moment. And as Gautam Buddha says, thinking in the right direction is very important, because what you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. So looking at the scenario, it is all about imagining the right way and taking everyone together.
Right. Mind is like magnet. What you think you become.
Yes.
If you aspire to become positive and productive, nobody can stop. Your biggest challenge is you, only you. And your biggest gain is also to you, because you only set standards and you excel. You are not competing with anyone. Never. Should never. So the ability to recognize everything is interconnected. We are interdependent on each other. We have a shared vision, shared leadership. We are all together into this. You become a problem solver. You are part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Right, sir. So this is all about having the right attitude. And we know that our attitude is something which influences all our actions. So what attitude do you think that one should have to accomplish this transition successfully?
Well, the biggest discovery of the century is human beings can alter their attitude. And that's what a recognition. If you think of positivity, you are going to earn. So what we need is change is inevitable. Recognize the fact that change is inevitable. And you will look at the positive sides of a person, individual or institution, or the society, and reflect on those positivity and keep building on those strengths. Essentially, you will be converting the negatives into positives. There's no other secret. Andrew Carnegie has said very clearly, when you understand a person, the merits and demerits, you work on the strength, not on the weakness. It's like digging gold. To dig 1 ounce of gold, you have to eliminate tons of dust. So when you look for gold, you don't look for dust, you look for gold. Clearly, the positive reflection is what should be your attitude.
Yeah.
Once you have positivity and you identify the positive side of anyone interacting with you, your ability to articulate a collective behavior, what you call the culture, becomes more positive and productive. And that should be the attitude. So there is no other secret other than being purposeful, productive, positive.
True, sir. That is the essence of whole life. The day we stop being productive, I guess that is the day we stop living in true sense. So, how do I lead my personal life and professional life as guiding principles?
There has to be a goal congruence, not one without the other. Because you are a good person, you create a good family. Because you create a good family, you create good society. Because you are a good society, you create good nation. Because of good nation, you create United Nations. So the world at large starts with you. So you have to define yourself that you will be purposeful for all the stakeholders, not one without the other. That's what is balanced growth is all about. You cannot cost your family, put into disrepute, and be greedy and make a living out of it, and you will be selfish if you do that. You have to be an integral part of the society. If you don't care for society, if you are again selfish, you will not be resonating positivity long term. So all the stakeholders. So goal congruence is not confined to your personal life or professional life alone. It's a combination of both. Unless you have that attitude in you, you will not be evolving as an individual, good culture, or if you're running an organization, you will not be satisfying all the stakeholders, which includes customers, staff, society, regulators, and yourself. So it is not one without the other. Again, it is important that alignment comes in because you have internally derived values within you. These values, it is better to be a person of committed values than being successful. Success will come. Success is not guaranteed. It will come. It will come on its own. You don't need to aspire for it as long as you have principle-centered values. And that's what a long-term sustenance is all about.
True, sir. It's all about striking that balance because they both run parallelly, whether it is our personal life or professional life. Maintaining that peace, maintaining that equilibrium is extremely important.
Very true.
So, what are the characteristics I should aim at to be graceful and successful during these?
First is attitude. To start with, you have to have a proper attitude. That's 90% of your success. You can be bold. You don't need to be arrogant. You can be firm. You don't need to be stubborn. You can be confident. You don't need to be conceited. You can be humble. You don't need to be apologetic. So you can be caring. You don't need to be unduly critical. So it's all about driving your personal values, if you understand these dynamics, the attitude will come, the seeds which you are putting in your thoughts is continuously become actions, and it becomes again your character. That becomes your destiny. So it's important how powerful your thought is going to reflect on your destiny. And destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a choice. So if you have the discipline in you, either you have the discipline or you regret for it, you will be having a positive attitude. You will have the drive, you have the desire, you will have thirst for success, and you will accept the failure at times, and you will map it as an experience to transform for futuristic initiatives, course of action. Everything is possible as long as you are a principle-centered person. Are you having values? Are you having conviction and character, which are principle-centered, which are akin to a very balanced growth? If you have that, the rest are all incidental. There's no oscillation on that. The ability to drive success or at times failure is equal to you. You will eventually molded to be purposeful for your creation. That's all we need, whether it's organization or as a person. End of the day, what you have delivered for yourself and your family or society or the institution you belong to, where you're engaged in, are you characterizing with all these principle-centered values? Rest are all incidental.
Exactly. So the principles, the values that we carry, that not just reflects our personality, but our behavior, the way we think, the way we feel, everything is directly linked with those. So they play
True.
an extremely important part in our lives.
Correct.
We know that the world is facing a lot of concerns, but the worst of the concerns that keeps troubling, haunting millions at this moment is the insecurity. The insecurity of job, which means no money, no fees, no means of livelihood. What is the hope that you can impart to such people?
The hope is this is a transforming world. And along with the transformation, I have to change. If you have that attitude in you, you will change. You will find solutions for it. As I said, if world is changing, we have to change along. You had radios, audible, but now you have invented videos. So it's a transition. It's a revolution. You keep moving with those changing dynamics. Adopting yourself is an attitude. So you have a temporary dislocation in your firm or in your personal life, a lot of suffocation. But this is an experience for you to transform and bring the change in you, upskill in you, innovate in you, redefine in you, realign in you, do the remedial management to start with, and find solutions to transform through multiple means. You think with a fresh perspective. That's what everyone is doing now. What choice you have? Yes, today you are going through challenges. These challenges can be converted into opportunities. Let's be specific on every issue. What we are seeing today is a liquidity issues or business disruption. This is not going to end here. There's no solution clinically now. It may run for 1 year, 2 years. We don't know. Nobody knows. There are indications it may relapse. So nothing has come as a panacea, as a medicine. So So it is here to stay. So change with these governance, if you realign yourself, you restructure your routine, you again clearly focus on redefining yourself in terms of your business or personal life, converge on the opportunities in terms of digital makeup. Sky is the limit. Why are you neglecting the possibilities and looking only at the problems?
Right. So it's a tough time. We have to accept it. We have to keep up the hope. Make sure
Yeah.
that we are making use of this situation in making use of the situation in every possible way to improvise ourselves. We have to accept the way it is and look for that ray of hope, that how we can proceed further. And that is the only way, and I guess the most important thing to recognize at the moment. So, but students,
Hmm.
for students, the classes have become online. The guidance is not like before because of the education system that has changed at the moment. What about those career-oriented students who have been waiting, for the light at the end of this tunnel? How about their psychology?
Again, we have to guide them. We have to necessarily mentor them. We have to coach them. These are changing times, challenging times. It doesn't mean you can't have a transition. This is only a transitory phase. Online, offline education is here to stay. Now, you have the ability to have information overflow. So you have new opportunities to explore the options. So it's not an end of education. You can have e-Gurukul. You can pick up the right kind of distinguished expert from any corner of the world instead of limiting yourself within this territory. Your ability to articulate solutions for each and everything can be an opportunity because you will go for the best. The world at large is in front of you.
Mhm.
So continuing education, you can do it. It is not only students, even every part of the society will convert and be a part of the knowledge economy, knowledge society.
Mhm.
So education is not going to stop.
Mhm.
On the contrary, the exposure is going to be more scientific,
Mhm.
truly global, and opportunities are endless.
Mhm.
So don't think conventional wisdom is gone. So we are all going to be in despair. You talked about hope. That's the essence of it. Why are we looking again? Only the doors which are getting closed. Oh, look at the doors which are getting open. Opportunities are endless today. Online education is already happening around the world.
Mhm.
Business process outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing was happening since 1990.
Mhm.
The world is really converting into a new system. It's becoming flat. So you will go for the best skill and you will have equal pay, irrespective of the gender. Whoever has got skills will get paid, whether they sit in Bangladesh or India or America or Gulf, doesn't matter. You will have the best of breed and time sharing. So all that you need is innovation within you, adapting yourself with the changing dynamics. What's wrong in it? We have to accept this change and keep continuing education. That's an opportunity. You should be enthusiastic to accept this change and energize yourself with a positive culture.
Right, sir, and as they say, where there is a will, there is a way. And we have gone
Absolutely.
enough. We have faced so many challenges. And having said that, the kind of opportunities, the facilities that we have today, we didn't have any of those in the past. Still, we saw leaders coming out, emerging, and people, they were willing to learn. So if we have willingness to learn something new, the doors, they automatically open. one area wherein we are reading, we are getting to know about it, one zone is the relationship. People are facing a lot of crisis. Loads of people are going through relationship crisis. What are the ways that we can help them change their mentality or mindset?
Listen, we have to understand, so far we have been driving materially, externally. The time has come for us to recognize this is a new world order where we need to internalize a bit. From material to humanitarian for a purpose. Then the peace will come, reconciliation will come, realignment will come, adjustments will come. There's nothing as depression. There's nothing as boredom. There's nothing as negativity. If you understand you are mortal and your time is limited in this planet, given the time and space, our job is to create positive energy within yourself as a physical body and radiate the society with positivity. If you understand this, peace becomes integral part of you. There's no conflict. Since you are fighting inside, you are fighting outside. If you bring harmony for yourself, how do you bring harmony? The next question comes, how do you bring harmony? Because you are reflecting a positivity, you are reflecting love, you are reflecting an attitude of gratitude for what you have. You are not looking at external validation only. You are answering to yourself consciously. In substance, the consciousness has to come. That's the characteristics. The minute you recognize that you are answering yourself, not necessarily for others, you start converting to be productive, positive, and you will be reconciling. Now, you can quarrel with me. If you can even throw fireballs at me, doesn't matter. If I don't accept it, your offering is coming to me, I don't accept it. It is rejected. So I don't respond. So it is your ability to take it or leave it. If you make an offer to be angry because you are conflicting inside, if I also accept, then I become provoked and I am going to be clashing with you. My way of interpreting is, if I see the negativity in you, if you offer me the negativity, I reject it. I stay calm, composed. So essentially, I refuse to take your offer. I'm not accepting. So there is reconciliation. Patience is a virtue. Patience and perseverance is a process we need more than ever. I can understand we were so much materially looking at options for comforts and luxuries. Today, you are in a distressed circumstances where your ability to service the standard is limited, waning. Obvious reaction is anger and settlement of the anger with your relationship. But that's immaturity. The mature attitude is to recognize these changes are here to stay. I have to scale down my lifestyle. I have to rationalize my expenses, for example, because my revenues are shrinking. I have to reduce my expenses and lower down the standard till I regain my revenue position back in track incrementally. That's the process. Every day is a new day. There are millions of people go to bed. They don't recover next day morning. You can look at the United Nations statistics. This crisis itself is a human interface, right? This is not something which is hitherto heard of. This is the third world war. We have already lost over 6 lakhs people, 600,000 people died. World over, this is a pandemic. Essentially, if we don't understand human values now, if we don't reconcile to relationships, if we don't reignite new moral and ethical values, values and ethics are not designed only for good times. It is also designed for challenging times. Your conviction and character is not changing with the changing times. Values are here to stay. Values are not situational. Ethics are not situational. Or changing dynamics cannot compromise on your ethics. There's no justification for it. Human forms are not designed to change the ethics as situational. So the governance internally as individuals has to recognize old value still holds good. As a person, you should not change.
Yeah.
You can realign yourself with the changing dynamics. You can have material comfort if it is available. You can have luxurious frames for you to enrich. In the event of you are not getting it, you go back to the reality.
Okay, sir.
There is no depression. There is no anger. There is no boring. There is no isolation. In this, we have to be together than splitting ourselves, you and me, I or you. No. That's where I started with the notion, just simply love people around you. Everyone is going through such extraordinary phase of change. Allow them to breathe. Give them their own space. Let them internally drive and reconcile their heart and mind instead of conflicting just because the anger is thrown on you. If you again reciprocate, then you are complicating the situation. The focus should be to reignite your mind, to reconcile and make sure that you calm down the situation and compose with love and care, not being critical.
So this reminds me of something that my father always used to tell me, that nobody in this world has got the capacity to make you unhappy unless you are really willing to be unhappy in your life.
Absolutely. There's no question. It's you who accept this unhappiness.
Yeah.
If you desire to be happy, if you have the attitude to be happy, that has to be internalized. Your program says smile. Smile is a reflection of your inner consciousness. True reflection. If you love yourself, let me again underline this word.
Yes.
If you have internal recognition of your heart and mind, if you are not feeling guilty, you will not have conflict. If you are feeling guilty because you have not done something which is principally correct, then you have to be ashamed of. If you love yourself, you will only love yourself if you are acted honestly. There's a harmony in you. Then that's energy. No amount of external disposition to make you unhappy can harm you. You will only dissuade it. You will leave it as immaturity and keep moving in the right direction. That's the attitude we all need. We all have to understand that we are the source of change. Our purpose is to be meaningful, ethical, moral, and governed with principle-centered characteristics. Rest are all time will prove.
Very true, sir. So if whenever we have that lack of love for ourselves from within, that is when the hatred comes for others too.
True. Why do you dislike yourself? You should ask yourself. Because either you are greedy or you don't have a principle-centered values. Why do you get bored? Because you don't have an agenda to accomplish. Why you are angry? Because you are conflicting inside. So these are variables which can disturb in good times as well as bad times if you are not recognizing these challenges for you to be self-disciplined. So this is not, it's a one-time affair. A constant reorganization is required in your thoughts and deeds. That's the process. And that's what one has to go through in terms of consciousness. The minute you are engaging in answering yourself, you will understand, you will forgive the past. You will have fresh perspective for the future. Your present is good, as the word goes. So every day becomes inspirational. Every day is interesting. Every day is exciting. Every day is motivational. Because you love yourself and that's what you reflect to others. It's not selfishness. Please, there's a huge difference. Self-love means recognition of the fact there's a harmony and righteousness within you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Nothing more, nothing less. Once you have a harmony within you, you can only be reflecting that love to outside.
So it all means that what a wonderful. So how wonderfully have you described this? It all means that having that harmony. So it all means that we are at peace with ourselves. So while we are going through these challenging times, there are certain people who are working days and nights really hard for us to make sure that we come out of these challenges. The frontline officers, the government, the authority, and everyone, every single person who is working for us today. So what is the message that you would want to give to all of them?
They're the true heroes in substance. See, I use the expression attitude of gratitude. Imagine they're pledging their personal life and ensuring safety for you and me. It's only fair that we have an attitude of gratitude to them. The world has not lost its purpose. Humanity is not over. The world is here to continue its mission. It has got enduring values. Sustainable value creation is all about recognition of the fact those who are indeed helping us in need are real heroes. We can admire them. We can hold them in our heart and mind. We will have an attitude of gratitude in everyday prayers for their safety, for their family's safety. There's no words to express our gratitude to them. We can only be proud of them. Professional commitments they are discharging. It's not necessarily for subsistence. It is for sustainable value creation they are doing to endure humanity and human prosperity. That's what exactly we should admire. And their commitment is total. All the more reason, people who are depressed or anguish, under anger, or isolated they feel, or feel bored, should look at people who are, some of the characteristics which you mentioned, is so rudiment for us to acknowledge the world is still is not losing its alignment. The cosmic energy is still going in as designed for the purpose because of all these committed people. They are the true God. They are the true reflection of humanity.
Very true, sir. So it's time for all of us to have that faith, have that belief, and have that confidence within ourselves that yes, we will get through this. We have got people, we have got power, we have got authorities who are working continuously without taking care, without thinking about anything else, and just focusing to serve the humanity and human life. And it is of utmost importance that we extend our complete support to them in every possible way we could. And with that, it means by staying positive, by taking care of ourselves, by supporting them mentally, physically, socially, in every possible way we could. So it was such an insightful conversation, and I'm pretty sure it is going to spread that ray of hope, the words of wisdom, the positivity that you have imparted today. It is definitely going to bring smile on the faces of many around. Thank you so very much, sir, for your precious time. It indeed matters a lot to all of us.
I tell you, I admire Gandhi, as I said. So, if this is the time where we need to understand more than ever, his value systems gets truly reflection of character and commitment. Wealth without work, knowledge without character, science without humanity, politics without principle, religion without sacrifice, commerce without morality, peace of no substance. We have to create a world where we believe humanity is ultimate, human prosperity. As I said in the beginning, our ability to make others happy. That's nature's antidote. It's a flash to recognize that we love everything around us. We reflect positivity in true substance of our creation. Then everything becomes transitory. The very fact our life itself is a passing passage. It's for a limited space. Within this space, we should love the humanity. If this attitude, if you have, I'm sure we will pass over this crisis and we will get back to greater prosperity for generations to come. And that's what it's going to be. This crisis is going to give us more sense of optimism in the coming years, leave alone the challenges we have, more sense of opportunities, more value-driven transformation for us to become better human beings. Socially, we will be enriching ourselves in an interconnected, interdependent global citizenship.
True, sir. True. The gift of service is the biggest gift that we could give to anyone.
Absolutely.
That's how it is, sir. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
A part of the show. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Anshu.